You are not creating your dreams from scratch. You are simply unfolding a divine blueprint that has been waiting for you since the moment you were spoken into existence. And the most freeing truth you can ever accept is that everything you long for, every good thing your heart beats for, every vision that dances in your imagination, is not something you have to invent, but something you have to reveal. For the picture is already drawn in the invisible. It is already complete in the spiritual realm. And your role is not to be the architect, but the one who allows the architecture to come into view. And yet how often do we live as though we are lost builders with no plan, working tirelessly to put together the pieces, doubting if we are even building the right thing, when in reality the plan is perfect and it has never changed. It is held in the hands of the infinite. And every time you think a dream is too big, every time you believe your desire is out of reach, it is as if you are standing over that heavenly blueprint with an eraser, rubbing away the lines that were meant to guide you, smudging the ink that heaven itself placed for your good. And the more you doubt, the more the lines fade, until you look at your life and think there is no design at all. But the truth is the design never left. It was only your vision of it that dimmed. And this is why faith is not just a nice idea. It is the tracing paper that lays over your blueprint and allows you to see each line with clarity again. Faith says, I may not see the full picture yet, but I know it is there. And gratitude is the hand that moves the pencil, going over the lines again and again, making them bold, unshakable, undeniable. And the moment you hold faith and gratitude together, the lines begin to take shape in your reality. Not because you forced them, but because you aligned yourself with what was already there. And perhaps right now you are standing in a season where the picture feels incomplete. You are in a chapter where you can only see half the plan, but this is the moment where the loop begins. For every time you come back to trust, you pick up the tracing pencil once more, and you will find that life will keep showing you new sections of the blueprint in perfect timing, no sooner and no later. And if you will stay aligned in thought, word, and action, you will see that the door you thought was closed is actually a door to another part of the plan. The delay you feared was actually the alignment you needed. For nothing is ever lost in the divine blueprint, and even the detours are written into the plan to bring you to your highest good. And I want you to remember this because it is the very heart of the message I am here to tell you, that your life is not random. Your good is not uncertain. Your future is not a blank page. It is a page with a design already drawn by the Creator. And all you must do is stop trying to invent the picture and start trusting the lines that have already been placed. And if this message is stirring something inside you, if it is awakening the part of you that always knew you were meant for more, then keep listening, for this is only the beginning. And by the end you will see that you have the power to unfold your own hidden blueprint, line by line, day by day, with the certainty that nothing can erase what heaven has already written for you. You see, most people live their lives as if they are trying to assemble a puzzle without the picture on the box. They pick up random pieces. They try to make them fit. They force them into places they were never meant to be. And when the pieces don't fit, they begin to think something is wrong with them. But I tell you today that the pieces of your life are not random. They are perfectly shaped for the exact design that has been written for you in the spiritual world. And the only reason you ever feel confusion or struggle is because you are looking at the pieces without consulting the blueprint. And when you live this way, you end up calling things mistakes that were actually instructions. You call seasons wasted that were actually preparation. You think you are behind when you are in perfect timing. And so I want you to imagine for a moment that the divine blueprint of your life is like a great scroll rolled up in heaven's library, sealed with the stamp of the Creator, containing every joy, every blessing, every connection, every opportunity, every lesson. And nothing can steal that scroll, nothing can alter it. Nothing can write a single line on it except the one who made it. But here is the mystery. The scroll does not unroll all at once. It opens in your life as you align yourself with its design. And the way you align is not through worry, not through overthinking, not through chasing after what you think you need, but through trusting that the plan is already complete, and then speaking, thinking, and acting in a way that matches it. For your thoughts are like keys. Your words are like chisels. Your actions are like the hands that take the rolled scroll and open it wider. And when you speak words of fear, you tighten the scroll again. When you speak words of doubt, you tie the ribbon tighter around it. But when you speak words of faith, my good is already mine. My path is already set. My blessings are already prepared. You loosen the ribbon, you let the paper fall open, and suddenly you see lines that were there all along. Lines that were simply hidden until you believed, and perhaps you say to me, "But Florence, I cannot see any lines in my life right now. All I see is blankness. All I feel is emptiness." And I will tell you what I have told so many, that the blankness you feel is not a void. It is the background of the canvas on which your design will appear, and if you could only hold your faith steady long enough, the lines would emerge. For the blueprint is never absent, it is only hidden from the doubting eye, and here is where many people stumble. They believe the blueprint exists, but they think it is in danger, they think someone else can steal it, or they fear they can miss it forever. But you cannot miss what was written for you before the foundation of the world. You cannot lose what the infinite has placed in your name. You can only delay its unfolding by refusing to trust it. And that is why the work of life is not frantic striving but consistent alignment. Returning to the truth again and again until it becomes the air you breathe. And I say again, you are not creating your dreams from scratch, you are unfolding them. And that unfolding is not a one-time act but a rhythm, a heartbeat, a daily choice to trace over the lines instead of erasing them. For every day you will be given the choice to live in fear or faith, in gratitude or complaint, in trust or resistance. And every choice is another stroke of the pencil over the plan. And when you choose faith, the plan comes into focus faster than you could imagine. The right people appear, the right doors swing open, the perfect timing surprises you, and you realize it was not coincidence, it was design. And this is why I speak to you with urgency and love. Because the world will try to convince you that you must build your life alone, that you must hustle and compete and claw your way to what you want. But that is the path of the one who has forgotten the blueprint. And if you will remember it, truly remember it, you will work. Yes, but it will be a work of joy, of inspired action, not of fear-driven struggle. You will take steps because you are guided, not because you are desperate. And the results will come not because you forced them, but because you were in harmony with the design. And perhaps you wonder how you can tell if you are aligned. And I will tell you, this piece is the compass. Joy is the indicator, and gratitude is the confirmation. For when you are in the right place in the blueprint, there is a deep knowing inside you, even when nothing outside you has changed yet, and that knowing is more real than any doubt. And so I say to you, begin today to speak as if your blueprint is already unfolding. Think as if it is already visible. Act as if the lines are already there, because they are. And the moment you do this with sincerity, you will find yourself walking through scenes you once only imagined, meeting people you once only dreamed of, living moments you once thought impossible. And when that happens, you will laugh and say, "Of course, it was always in the plan." And you will look back at the detours and delays and see that they were not mistakes, but exact steps in the design. And this is the power of the hidden blueprint. It redeems everything, it wastes nothing, it weaves all things together for your highest good. And as you live this truth, you will not only unfold your own blueprint, but inspire others to seek theirs, for your life will become the proof that the plan is real, that the design is perfect, that the infinite never leaves a single line unfinished. And before we end, I must tell you that if you want to go deeper into this work, if you want to truly understand how to trace your own lines with precision, I have created a guide that will walk you through the exact steps to find and unfold your personal divine blueprint. It is my gift to you, so take it, use it. Let it remind you every day that your dream is not a gamble but a guarantee in the spiritual world, waiting for you to bring it into sight. And now I want you to imagine something with me, because the mind works best when it can see, when it can feel, when it can almost touch the picture. So close your eyes for just a moment in your imagination and see before you a large, beautiful drafting table. And on this table lies a great sheet of paper, delicate yet strong, covered in fine lines of light, lines that shimmer as though they were drawn not with ink, but with beams of gold. This is your divine blueprint. This is the perfect plan of your life. And as you lean closer, you see that every desire of your heart has its place here. Every dream you have ever had is drawn in some corner of this page, and every time you have prayed, every time you have hoped, every time you have cried out in faith, another line appeared, another detail was revealed. And yet here is what I want you to know. This paper was not blank before you spoke. No. It was complete before you were even born. But your faith is the light makes the lines visible. Without the light, the lines are invisible, though they are still there. And this is why two people can be living under the same sun yet see completely different realities. One walks in despair because they cannot see the design. The other walks in joy because their faith illuminates every line. And the beauty is that the moment you decide to turn on that light, the moment you choose faith over fear, the blueprint begins to reveal itself to you piece by piece, and you begin to understand why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain delays happened. For every no was a protection, every delay was a preparation, every loss was a redirection. And I tell you again that nothing can erase your blueprint. Nothing can ruin what was drawn for you in the spiritual world. But you can turn away from it, you can ignore it, you can doubt it. And when you do, the picture fades from your sight, and then you wonder if there was ever a plan at all. But I am here to loop you back to the truth. There is a plan. It is perfect, it is unshakable, and your part is not to draw it but to align with it, to trust it, to believe in it as surely as you believe the sun will rise. And alignment begins in thought. Because your thoughts are the lens through which you see the lines. Think in fear and the lines blur. Think in gratitude and the lines sharpen. Think in doubt and the paper seems blank. Think in faith and the golden ink glows like fire. And it is not enough to think once and then forget. You must live in this thinking. You must train your mind to return to it again and again until it becomes the natural way you see the world. For repetition is the tracing that makes the lines permanent in your vision, and your words then seal what your thoughts have traced. For every word you speak is like a stroke over the blueprint, saying, yes, this is mine, or no, I do not believe. And the tragedy is that many people speak against their own blueprint without realizing it. They say, nothing ever works out for me, and in doing so they shadow the lines of their blessings. They say, I can't do it, and they dim the light over their opportunities. But when you speak in faith, my path is clear, my good is certain, my blessings are unfolding now. You brighten every corner of the plan, you make the lines so visible that even in the darkest night you can still see the next step. And here is the miracle. Once you can see the next step clearly, you take it, and when you take it, the step after that appears. And in this way your life unfolds like a scroll, one section at a time, and though you cannot see the end from the beginning, you can trust that the one who designed it sees it all, and this trust frees you from the burden of trying to control everything. It frees you from the anxiety of needing to know how every detail will come together. For you know it is already together. You are simply walking through the unfolding. And this is where joy returns to your journey, because now the unknown is not a threat. It is an adventure. It is the joy of watching the plan reveal itself. And I must tell you that when you live like this, life will surprise you in ways you never thought possible. The people you need will find you. The opportunities you desire will cross your path without strain. The resources you require will appear at the perfect moment. And when they do, you will not have to ask, is this for me? For it will fit so perfectly into the lines of your blueprint that you will know instantly it is yours. And I say this to stir your faith, to remind you that your good exists right now, already placed, already prepared, and no matter what the outer world looks like, the inner design remains untouched. So hold this vision, protect it from doubt, nourish it with gratitude, speak life into it daily, and act in harmony with it always. And if you will do this, I promise you will watch the invisible become visible, the hidden become revealed, and the long-awaited dreams of your heart take form right before your eyes. And when that day comes, remember this moment. Remember that you were told there was a blueprint and you believed. And belief was the bridge that carried it from the spiritual into the physical. And as you rejoice in the manifestation, never forget to go back to the table. For there will always be more lines to trace, more sections to unfold, more beauty to bring into sight. For the divine blueprint of your life is not static. It is living. It grows with your faith. It brightens with your gratitude. It sharpens with your trust. And the more you align with it, the more it reveals. So take the next step today. Do not wait until you see the whole picture, for faith moves first and sight follows, and as you move, know that the entire design is already complete, waiting for you to walk it out. And if you are ready to see it in greater detail, I invite you again to take my guide, my gift to you, the steps to unfold your personal divine blueprint. And let it be the lamp that lights your way until the whole page is illuminated, and your life becomes the masterpiece it was always meant to be. There is something powerful I must tell you now. Something that will make the hidden blueprint of your life more real to you than ever before. And it is this. Every moment you have ever lived has been leading you to this very second. Every joy, every trial, every tear, every victory, every loss. They have all been strokes of the pen over your design. Some of them soft and delicate, others bold and undeniable. And I know there were moments you thought the pen had slipped. Moments you thought the lines had been drawn in error. Times you looked at your life and said, "This cannot possibly be part of the plan." But I assure you it was, because the divine blueprint wastes nothing. It uses every mark, every shade, every space to create the perfect picture. And when you understand this, you stop fearing the so-called mistakes, for you realize that even the seeming wrong turns were simply curves in the line leading you exactly where you were meant to be. And here is the truth you must keep looping back to. The plan has never been in danger, not for a moment. It has always been in the keeping of the one who sees the end from the beginning, the master architect who knows where every wall, every doorway, every window must be. And while you may only see the single room you are in, the architect holds the whole mansion in mind. And if you will trust the architect, you will find yourself guided into rooms more beautiful than you could have imagined. And yes, there will be hallways that seem narrow, there will be corridors that feel dark, there will be steps that are steep, but each one is leading you somewhere, each one is part of the path. And when you look back from the higher floor you will see that nothing was wasted, and you will marvel at how perfectly it all fit together. And the reason I press this point so deeply is because I know how easy it is to lose sight of the blueprint when life feels uncertain. When the outer picture looks nothing like the inner promise, when the delays seem endless and the challenges keep coming. And it is in these moments that your faith must be strongest, because faith is the tracing pencil you hold even when the lights seem dim. Faith is the tool that allows you to keep going even when you cannot yet see the next detail. And here is where the beauty of gratitude comes in. For gratitude is not simply saying, "Thank you for what you have." It is the act of aligning your energy with the completed plan. It is saying, "Trust the lines I cannot yet see. I rejoice in blessings that have not yet unfolded." And this opens the scroll further than any fear or complaint ever could. And as you live in gratitude, you begin to notice something extraordinary. The blueprint is not static. It is not just a flat page on a table. It is alive. It is multidimensional. It responds to your faith. It shines brighter when you are in joy. It reveals hidden rooms when you act with courage. And in this way you are not only following the plan, you are dancing with it, you are in relationship with it. And this is what makes life miraculous, because the plan is not something you obey as a slave. It is something you partner with as a co-creator. And while the ultimate design is fixed in its perfection, the way it unfolds can be full of surprise and wonder. And perhaps you are beginning to realize now that the moments you thought were empty were actually spaces for grace to enter. That the pauses in your journey were moments for new lines to be revealed. And this understanding will change how you see everything. Because now even in the quiet seasons you will know that something is happening, that lines are being drawn in the invisible, that doors are being positioned in the design. And you will not rush in fear, you will move in peace, for you trust the timing of the architect. And as you do, you will begin to experience the magic of perfect alignment, where you step into a room at the exact right moment to meet the person who changes everything, where you receive the message you needed at the perfect second, where you find the opportunity you once thought had passed you by, and you will understand that this is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is the blueprint unfolding exactly as it was always meant to. And I want you to let that sink in, to let it wrap around your heart until it becomes the way you think. Because when you live in this truth, nothing can shake you, not the delays, not the detours, not the darkness, because you know the lines are still there. The plan is still perfect, the unfolding is still in motion, and so I call you today to step fully into alignment, to make the choice not just once but every morning, every hour, every moment, to speak life into your blueprint, to think in harmony with it, to act as though it is already visible. And as you do, watch as the invisible becomes visible, the hidden becomes revealed, and your life becomes the masterpiece it was designed to be. And if you desire to take this further, to see your own hidden blueprint with clarity and detail, I offer again the guide I have prepared for you, a simple but powerful set of steps to help you trace your lines with certainty and joy. Take it, use it, let it remind you that you are never without a plan, never without direction, never without hope, for the architect has already finished your design, and you, my dear, are simply walking it into view. There is something I must share with you now, something that turns the key in the lock of your understanding, and it is this. The blueprint of your life was not given to you to frustrate you, it was given to you to free you. For when you understand that the plan is already complete, you are no longer trapped in the exhausting game of comparison. no longer caught in the endless race to catch up to others, no longer swayed by the fear that you might somehow be left behind. Because how can you be left behind when your blueprint unfolds at the pace and in the order that was designed specifically for you? You see, the very thing that causes so much anxiety for people is the illusion that life is random, that opportunities are scarce, that blessings are limited. And when you believe that, you begin to grasp, to push, to force, to run ahead. But in doing so you often step outside the flow of your own design. You wander into rooms that were never meant for you. And then you wonder why you feel out of place. But when you remember the blueprint, truly remember it, you realize that the timing of your life is not late. It is not early. It is exact. It is perfect. And if you can rest in that, you will find that what is yours will come to you without strain, without desperation, without fear, because it is already written into your path. And here is something beautiful. When you live this way, you stop seeing other people as competition and start seeing them as collaborators in the great design, for their blueprint is as sacred and untouchable as yours. And when you understand this, you rejoice in their blessings because you know it does not take away from your own. In fact, the joy you feel for them traces your own lines more clearly, for joy is a magnifier in the spiritual world. It makes your own blessings come into focus faster. And this is why envy is so dangerous. For envy is like pouring water over the ink of your blueprint. It smudges the lines, it makes the picture unclear. But gratitude and joy for others sharpens it, brightens it, and brings your own plan into sharper relief. And perhaps now you see why the work of the heart is as important as the work of the hands. Because your inner state is constantly affecting how clearly you can see the design. And this is why the loop is so important. Because every day you will be tempted to forget. Every day something will happen that tries to convince you there is no plan. And when that happens you must loop back to the truth. The plan is perfect. The plan is alive. The plan is unfolding now, even if you cannot see the next detail. And this looping is not a weakness. It is a strength, for it means you are actively choosing alignment again and again, and each time you choose, the light over your blueprint grows brighter. And when the light is bright, you can see further ahead. And when you can see further ahead, you can walk more confidently. And confidence is simply the fruit of trust, not arrogance, not pride, but the quiet strength of knowing you are guided. And as you live in that confidence, something else happens. You begin to attract the right people and opportunities with ease. Because those who are aligned with their blueprint recognize the light of someone else who is aligned with theirs. It is like a beacon calling ships to the right harbor, and soon your life becomes a series of divine connections. Meetings that feel like they were orchestrated. And they were. Conversations that changed the course of your journey. And you will look back and see that these were not random. They were points on your design, already drawn, simply waiting for you to walk into them. And I want you to feel the relief of this truth right now. The relief of knowing you do not have to chase what is already yours. You simply have to prepare yourself to receive it, to be in the right room at the right time. And the way you do that is not by forcing the door, but by aligning your inner world with the plan. And when you do, the door will open by itself. For the blueprint contains every open door you will ever need. And if a door is closed, it is not in your plan for this moment. And you can bless it, release it, and keep walking, knowing the right one will open in perfect time. And as I speak these words, perhaps you are realizing that some of the closed doors you mourned were actually your greatest blessings. That if they had opened, they would have taken you off the path. They would have led you into rooms that were not designed for you. And in that understanding there is deep peace. And with peace comes joy. And with joy comes clarity. And clarity is the key to seeing your next step. So take this moment to breathe and remember. The plan is already written. Your work is to align, to trust, to trace the lines with faith and gratitude, to speak them into reality with your words, and to walk them into form with your actions. And if you are ready to do this with intention and power, I invite you once more to take the guide I have prepared, a gift to help you see your own hidden blueprint and walk it out with joy. For your life is not a blank page, it is a masterpiece in progress, and the master artist has already completed the design. Now we come to a truth so vital, so deeply transformative, that once it is grasped it will change the way you live every single day. And it is this: the unfolding of your blueprint is not passive, it is responsive, it is a living dialogue between you and the divine. And every thought you think, every word you speak, every choice you make is like a signal you send to the architect, saying, yes, I am ready for this part of the plan. Or no, I am not yet aligned for this detail. And when you begin to understand this, you step into your true power. Because you realize that while you did not draw the original design, you are a participant in how and when its details come into form. And this is why faith is not a vague hope, but a living force. It is the hand that turns the page to reveal the next room. And gratitude is the lamp that lights it so you can walk in. And obedience to inner guidance is the action that moves you across the threshold. And if you are willing to live this way, you will see the miraculous become your normal. Because life will no longer feel like a series of random events, but like a perfectly woven story. And here is where the loop must keep pulling you back. Whenever you feel lost, whenever you feel stalled, you must ask yourself, am I tracing the lines or am I erasing them? And by that I mean, are your thoughts in harmony with the blueprint, or are they filled with doubt, fear, resentment, comparison, and complaint? For those things are like drops of ink that blur the lines and make the design harder to see. But when you return to faith and gratitude, when you speak words of life, when you imagine the best possible outcome and expect it, you are tracing over the lines so they become bold and unmistakable. And soon you will see them in the outer world as clearly as you see them in your inner vision. And I must remind you again that your blueprint already contains the desires of your heart. You are not asking for something that does not exist. You are not trying to force something into being that is not in your plan. And when the desire is pure, when it resonates with your deepest truth, that is the signal that it is already written into your design, and your role is to bring it into visibility. And sometimes the reason it has not yet appeared is simply that certain rooms must be built in a certain order. Certain foundations must be laid before the upper floors can stand, and if you trust this order, you will not try to climb into a room that has not yet been constructed. And this trust is what keeps you from exhausting yourself in needless striving, for the blueprint is efficient, it wastes no energy, it makes no mistakes, and if you will align with it daily, you will find yourself carried along in a flow that feels almost effortless. Because the right steps will reveal themselves at the right time. And you will notice that doors open without your pounding on them, that people arrive without your chasing them, that opportunities appear without your frantic searching, and you will realize that this is how it was always meant to be, that your only real work is to stay aligned, to hold the vision, to keep tracing the lines in faith and gratitude. And yes, I know there will be moments when the outer picture seems to contradict the inner plan, when delays test your patience, when obstacles rise up like walls. But in those moments you must remember that sometimes the blueprint includes pauses. Sometimes the lines lead you around a barrier rather than through it. And those detours are not failures, they are protection, they are preparation, they are positioning you for what comes next. And this understanding will give you a calm that others will not understand, a calm that says, I do not need to panic, because I know the plan is still unfolding. And in that calm you will hear guidance more clearly, you will see opportunities more sharply, and you will be able to act more decisively, because you are not reacting in fear, you are responding in alignment. And this is the space where miracles happen with such precision that you will know, without doubt, they were written for you long before you saw them. And perhaps now you can feel a shift happening inside you, a sense of security, a deep peace, because you realize that your life is not an accident, that the deepest desires of your heart are not foolish fantasies, but signals of what is already yours in the unseen. And I tell you this with all the certainty in my spirit. When you live in harmony with your hidden blueprint, your days take on a beauty and meaning that no amount of striving could ever create. And so I urge you now, do not delay another day in stepping into alignment. Take the first step this very moment, speak aloud your trust in the plan, give thanks for what is already written, imagine it in vivid detail. And then take the actions you know are in harmony with it. And as you do, you will feel the peace of knowing you are on the right path, the joy of seeing doors open in perfect timing, and the confidence of walking in a destiny that has already been secured for you. And if you are ready to see your own blueprint more clearly than ever before, to trace its lines with intention, and to walk it out with joy, I invite you once more to take the free guide I have prepared, a gift to help you align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the divine design of your life. For you are not building from scratch, you are simply unfolding what is already perfect, already complete, already yours. And now, as we come to the close of this unfolding, I want you to hold in your mind, as clearly as you can, the picture of your life not as a chaotic jumble of random moments, but as a masterpiece in progress, every stroke intentional, every line purposeful, every shade already chosen by the master artist who knew before you took your first breath. And I want you to feel the relief of this truth sink deep into your spirit. You are not creating your dreams from scratch. You are simply uncovering what was already designed for you. You are tracing the lines of a plan that was complete long before you began. And when you see it this way, the pressure lifts, the fear dissolves, the doubt loses its grip. Because you no longer carry the weight of inventing your destiny. You carry only the joyful responsibility of aligning with it. And alignment is not some distant, mystical state reserved for a select few. It is a daily choice. A moment-by-moment decision to believe the truth of the plan over the lies of fear. To speak words that strengthen the lines rather than smudge them. To act in ways that bring the blueprint into visibility rather than delay it. And this is why I have looped back again and again to faith and gratitude. Because these two forces are the master tools in your hand. Faith to see the invisible and gratitude to seal it into your reality. And I want you to imagine now the blueprint rolled out before you, stretching farther than your eyes can see, and each act of faith, each expression of gratitude, each obedient step you take illuminates the next segment, until you are walking in light that grows brighter and brighter, and as it brightens, you see rooms you once thought impossible, doors you once thought locked, pathways you once thought blocked, now open and waiting, and you realize they were never closed to you, they were simply waiting for the moment you were ready to walk in. And this readiness is not about perfection, it is about alignment, about being so convinced of the goodness of the plan that you will not be swayed by delay, will not be discouraged by detour, will not be seduced by the counterfeit paths that promise quick results but lead away from your true design. And when you hold to this, when you keep your eyes on the blueprint instead of on the noise around you, you become unshakable, and people will wonder at your peace. They will marvel at your confidence. They will ask how you knew to take the steps you took, and you will smile and know it was not luck, it was not chance, it was simply the unfolding of what was always meant to be. And in that moment you will feel a connection, so deep to the source of your life that you will know beyond all doubt that you are supported, guided, and provided for in every way. And as you live in this awareness, something extraordinary happens. You become a beacon for others who are still stumbling in the dark. You become a living example of what it means to walk in one's divine design, and without even trying, your life begins to inspire, to encourage, to call others to remember their own hidden blueprint. And this is the great ripple effect of alignment. That as you step fully into your design, you create space for others to do the same. And so I say to you now, as clearly and directly as I can, your destiny is not ahead of you, it is within you. It is written into the very fabric of your being, and every longing of your heart that resonates with peace and truth is a signal from the blueprint calling you forward. So stop waiting for permission, stop delaying your joy, stop believing the lead that you are behind, and start tracing, start speaking, start moving in harmony with the plan. For the moment you do, you will feel the shift, you will see the signs, you will know you are walking in the path prepared for you. And if you are ready, truly ready, to step into this life of clarity, confidence, and divine alignment, I urge you one last time to take the free guide I have created for you, not as another piece of information to collect, but as a practical tool to help you find and unfold your personal divine blueprint. For this is not theory, this is not wishful thinking. This is the truth of who you are and why you are here. And the sooner you begin to live in alignment with it, the sooner you will see the beauty, the abundance, the joy, and the purpose that has been waiting for you all along. So take the step, hold the vision, trust the plan, and watch as the masterpiece of your life unfolds exactly as it was always meant to. For you are not lost, you are not late, you are not lacking, you are simply in the perfect place to begin. And so, even though you have walked with me through these layers of understanding, I feel it is necessary to go one step further, to take you into the very heart of why your hidden blueprint is the most trustworthy guide you will ever follow. Because once you see this, hesitation will leave you, fear will lose its voice, and the fog of uncertainty will lift from your path. For here is the truth. The divine blueprint is not simply a plan for your outer circumstances. It is the precise architecture of your soul's unfolding. It knows when you are ready to carry certain responsibilities. It knows when you must rest before rising to the next level. It knows the exact order of your growth, so that no step you take will collapse under its own weight. And when you trust this, you will find that the so-called delays in your life are not denials but strategic pauses, that the detours are scenic routes designed to strengthen you, and the closed doors are simply redirections toward greater alignment. And this understanding transforms the way you respond to life, because now you know that even the waiting times are sacred, even the still moments are filled with purpose. And in those moments you can continue to trace the lines of the blueprint with faith. You can fill the pauses with gratitude, knowing that every act of thanksgiving is like pouring golden light over the design, making it more vivid and undeniable in your spirit. And here is where I must loop you back yet again to the central truth. You are not creating your dreams from scratch, you are simply unfolding them. Just as a sculptor chips away stone to reveal the form that was already hidden within, you are removing the layers of doubt, fear, and false belief that obscure your vision. And as you do, the life you were meant to live emerges with a clarity that leaves no room for question. And this is why words matter so much. For every word you speak is either polishing the sculpture or scratching it, either tracing the lines or blurring them, and you have more power in your tongue than you realize. For your words are signals to the blueprint, affirmations of what you believe, and when you speak with faith and gratitude, you are in agreement with the design. But when you speak in fear, resentment, or complaint, you are disagreeing with it, and disagreement causes delay. So I say to you now, watch your words as a builder watches his tools, for they can either construct or destroy, and your daily speech is the steady rhythm of your building. And I know someone listening to my voice right now feels as though their life has been on hold, as though nothing is moving. But I assure you, things are moving in the unseen. And the moment your alignment reaches a certain point, the visible will catch up with the invisible, and it will seem to all who watch like a sudden breakthrough. But you will know it was years in the making, and that knowledge will deepen your gratitude and strengthen your trust for your next unfolding. And so I ask you to make a decision right here, right now, that from this moment forward you will not erase your blueprint with doubt, you will not smudge it with fear. You will not hide it under the coverings of other people's opinions, but you will stand in your truth. You will trace the lines every day with faith. You will illuminate them with gratitude. You will act upon them with obedience to your inner guidance. And you will expect the doors to open, the paths to clear, the rooms to be ready for you when you arrive, for this is the life you were meant to live, and nothing, not time, not circumstance, not any human opinion, can take it from you once you align with it. So take my words as your reminder and your challenging step into the blueprint now. And if you have not yet begun, let today be the day. Let this be the turning point. And if you need help seeing it clearly, use the free guide I have given you. Let it be the tool in your hand, the map beside the design, the reminder that you are not lost, not late, not lacking, but right on time to the life already prepared for you. And as you do, you will become living proof of this eternal truth. The blueprint is real, it is yours, and it has been waiting to unfold it all along.